All right, so happy Wednesday, everyone. Hump day. Let's go ahead and get started with the analysis. So first thing you guys know, go on to Forex calendar, forexfactory.com. So today, there was some high impact on NZD earlier at 5 p.m. And this is Pacific Standard Time. So all day today, we have some medium impact on Euro. So we're going to be looking at the Euro pairs. There's also low impact on one. The main thing is in the beginning of the New York session, it's going to be some USD news. So it's going to be high impact on that. And then later on throughout the day at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard, there's NZD news. So main thing right now, Euro and USD is current pairs that we're going to be looking at. So we can go on to first starting off with bringing my MT4 over. So starting off with all Euro pairs, EURGBP, EURCHF, EURJPY, EURAUD, EURCAD. Okay, so if you guys can see pretty much everything that it has on common, we have the euros that is in the front of these pairs, so Euro AUD. So we have euros in front of all of them. And we can see that pretty much at the bottom, we're getting the threes. Threes down here is kind of giving us like a pattern about to reverse. Right here, 3. Down here looks like it's hitting a major support, kind of like a double bottom happening. So we're going to be looking at certain things on these pairs to be able to catch the reversal. Because you guys know, as I mentioned, usually Wednesdays, Thursdays are when there's a lot of reversals happening. So we're going to be looking at these here. Let's start off with okay, we're going to start off with Euro USD. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can write in the chat area, but the main thing is make sure that at the end of this, to save your questions, and at the end of the analysis, I'll be answering you guys' questions, but overall, just kind of hold those questions, unless it's like kind of in the moment. But let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, so we're gonna look at Euro USD. I'm gonna do a top-down analysis on all these. So I'm gonna start off with trading view. By the way, GBP CAD is still open right now. It kind of got close to the stop loss. Got in for an entry. Right now it's hitting off like the 200, but most likely it's gonna be dropping down. So gonna wait on that one. Gonna wait on that one. So I'm gonna look at Euro USD. Okay, so top-down analysis, I said, I'm gonna go weekly. And what I like doing pretty much every single time, especially like on a Wednesday or something, I'll just do my analysis just so it can be nice and fresh. We have like a major zone up here. Major zone down here. Go on to the daily, see what's happening on the daily. So just with trapping the price, where you get resistance line like that. Okay. It's most likely the most accurate resistance line that we can have right here. So basically it's pretty much creating like this this area right here where it's consolidating. Horizontal tool, so go on to the 4 hour. See what we see here. So if you guys see one of the main things that I do is I'm looking from far away and getting closer and closer to try finding that perfect entry of, or like being able to figure out which way really overall that's happening on the bigger time frame, so I can catch it on the smaller time frames. So right now it's like pretty much consolidating. We can see that it's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's kind of in this area where it's just trying to figure out. So because we do have like a 3, we have a 3 down here, but also if I do this, or if I go on to like the 4-hour or the daily, we can pretty much see like the 3 at the bottom here, and then it's like expected to go up. Let's see, weekly says like 2 right there. Yeah, so I'm gonna be looking at closer time frame, 1 hour, see if we can spot anything. So now we have like this strong resistance line like that. Strong resistance line like that. We can see it at the bottom down here. We got this whole divergence going on while this is going down like that. So most likely it's going to be pushing up pretty soon. It's actually already starting to push up. Right now it's at like a resistance. It's above the pivot points, and most likely it's going to be breaking above. And it's above the 500. So I would say EURUSD is pretty much like a buy. If you're to catch it, you can at least catch 100 micropips. Those of you guys that are inside of the $100 challenge know that 100 micropips is all that you need to catch. So this right here is like a 100 micropip move from 580 to 690. So pretty much like this. That's just like a quick scalp that you can catch on this one for like 100 micropips. But there is a really high chance that it's going to be going up because there's already divergence. Price is expected to shoot up. So most likely it will come up, hit this blue line, and then probably continue to drop down. But yeah, going to be looking at that. Give me one sec, you guys. Okay, so next one we're going to be looking at, EURGBP. Which, by the way, EURGBP, I have this in for a buy right now, which is it entered here, kind of came down, hasn't hit the stop loss or anything just yet, but it is expected to continue going up. Let me do my fibs off of this one. But low, high, it's hitting off like the 38.2. So as long as it goes above this blue and just continues to ride up, then we should be fine. It just kind of did its retracement. If it was to continue to drop down, I would actually most likely drop this stop loss, especially because it's retracing right now. I'll like drop it down to somewhere under the 61.8. Because if it does drop below 61.8, most likely it's just going to continue dropping down. But right now it's hitting off the 38.2. So usually 38.2 reaction will hit really high, which pretty much lines up where my take profits are at. You guys can see my take profit 1 is basically where it's negative 27% is at. And then take profit 2 is negative 61.8. So I'm going to be looking at that. Well, I'm already in for a buy on that one. So Anthony, you say you're in profit for that one right now. Awesome. Yeah, so Hamza said for scalping, we don't need to wait for a break, right? If it's going to go up, then it's up. So for scalping, you do have to wait for breaks. You do have to wait for perfect entries. I recommend more than 3 confirmations before getting into any trade. The more confirmations you have, the better that it's going to be for your trading style. The more confident that you get, it helps out a lot with psychology of trading. So definitely would recommend that. So let me go on to the next one. EURCHF, which EURGBP I don't really need to analyze that much because I already did my analysis. But EURCHF, just by looking, let's see on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, you can see right here, like this whole area here, showing that it's slanted up, while it's like pretty much this area here. So it's showing that this is going down while this is showing it's getting stronger. So most likely this is expected to go up. We're just waiting for like a good breakout to happen. So we have like a resistance right there. It basically already broke out. So and it's already above the 0.0. We can see like 1.12000. So most likely it's going to go up to at least a 250, if not the 500. But you know, based off of support and resistance, I would say first target to hit would be like this R1. So if you guys were to catch it right now, that would be like a 100 micropip move going up to at least 12159. Which, one sec. Okay. So let's see. Let me look at the bigger time frame for this one. So just looking at the weekly time frame. Okay, so this is pretty much a perfect entry to get in because we can see just on the weekly. Let's see. Well, let me try to adjust this. Okay. So the best area would be down here. Okay, so down to the daily, we can see that pretty much this entire area right here is like a support zone right there. So it's at the zone right now, expected to be going up, kind of creating like that triple bottom pattern. 1, 2, 3, not really breaking through the support. But if it does break through, we have like this major support right here on the weekly, which that's what we're going to be looking at for that big bounce going up. So EURCHF expected to go. And something that I like looking at is when I see all these pairs correlating with each other, when I see that all of them are showing signs of going up, then most likely all of them will be going up. So like EURGBP, EURUSD, like it would just give you those signs of just bullish trends happening. So let's see for this one. Okay, so this will most likely be like a 1,000 micropip hit. I can see this going up to like the 1.13000, especially with this big spike that went up, and it most likely be retracing up. So let's see if it aligns. Something that I do with Fibonacci is I do it from the high to the low. It's kind of guessing that this is going to be the area that's going to be the bottom and seeing if it aligns with any of these areas. Like 38.2, we can see it's at like R3. 50% is like at R4. 61.8 is like around R5. So that's what I like seeing when it pretty much aligns with each other. Pretty much aligns perfectly with the fib. So catching this for a buy, this would be like a quick buy to most likely this R1. But if it was to cross above 23.6, then I would say it's going to be going to 38.2, at least 38.2, and then going on. So that's pretty much how I use my fibs, as like take profit levels going on mix with these pivot points. So let me go on to the next one. You guys can see it's already been maybe about 10, 15 minutes of analysis. I already got like 3 of them down while doing explaining, while looking at the calendar, while doing all this stuff. So like for me, it really doesn't take more than like 30 minutes to do my analysis when I'm not talking. So when I'm talking, it can take up to like about an hour to do my analysis. So we have EURGBP. This was a trade that didn't enter. But okay, so we look out onto the daily. What's going on here? So okay, don't mind that stuff there. Okay, so this is major resistance, which is like support over here. So right now it's hitting off of like a major support down here on the daily. If I go into the 4-hour, it's doing like a double bottom, but while that double bottom's happening, so right here, it's pretty much like horizontal like that, but over here, just connecting this point and over here, it's like kind of slanted up. So we might be expecting this to be going up. It's also hitting off from pivot point right now, major zone. So we go on to the 2-hour. So, well, I don't look 2-hour, 1 hour. So 1 hour, we can see the divergence even better. We can see this like that, coming up like that. On top of that, so what we can get is we have like a strong resistance line like that, get down like that. You got like this double bottom being created right there. While that little double bottom is being created, it's kind of giving us divergence. So expecting to go up pretty soon. There's no crossovers or anything going on just yet, but we go on to the 15. There's trapping. Oops. Trapping it even tighter. So okay. So this is an area where most likely it is going to be going up because it is hitting off the S1 on the pivot point, kind of creating like a double bottom. On top of that, it's reacting off this 124.000. So if it does go up, I would say above the 124.050, so maybe like around 060. Even though if there's this major resistance going down right here, there's a really high chance that it's going to be breaking through that resistance because this major area right here, because all of these are showing that there's like most likely going to be going up. So yeah, like this one right here, if you guys got in, it's still like on its way working in. Right here, definitely like I would most likely be getting like some type of signal coming out. Let's see. I would catch like around 250, do 267 just so it's 200 micropips even. 267, stop loss. Most likely once it goes above there, I'll drop down to this major, but and then going above there. So usually, like most likely, it's going to be getting up to like the 500s. So I would target like around 450 area. I'll target around the 450 area, but this type of trade is more like it's more like a take profit 1, 2, and then like even 3 going all the way up here because it's a bigger double bottom on the smaller time frame. So it might even do this. It might do like a 1, 2, 3, and then finally like break out and then continue to go up. So, but the main area is to target up here, but at least catching these pips down here. That's our main focus is catching these pips because, you know, especially if you're sticking to my plan, you're just catching like 100, 200 market tips and you're done for the day. So this one's already rallying up right now. Let's see, it's 11:42. I mentioned that there's the euro. In fact, use all these. So yeah, and that's the best part about watching this live, you guys. So you guys can like get into some of these trades I'm gonna be calling. I know some of you guys are inside of the signal. Some of you guys are inside of like the silver circle. So you guys, it's basically like I'm calling the signals on Wednesdays, which this is an announcement for you guys. So I am having a free signal room. It's a free signal chat room that people can join in on. So we're gonna have like the paid group, and then we're gonna have like the free signal group. So the free one, it's just gonna be like 1-2 trades a week, and the premium room is gonna have like 0 to 6 trades a day. So some days it'll be like 4 or 5 trades. Some days it'll be like 2 trades in a day. But yeah, it's going to be the difference between both. So you guys can try it out for as long as you want for the free one. And yeah, if you want to upgrade, see the analysis and all that stuff in the paid room, then you guys can do that. So Suzuki said, "Wow, that's amazing." Yeah, if you guys want to join into that, make sure to send me a message after this, and then I'll get you guys added on there. Either me or the coaches that are inside the room, like Marcos, Dane, Matt, any of the coaches that are in there. Just send them a message, and they'll get you added on. So let me go on to the next one. We have Euro AUD. Okay. So I'm gonna do another one of these top-down analysis. Erase. Okay, with Euro AUD, it's showing signs that it's hitting like a major resistance and gonna be dropping down. Especially like on the weekly, we can see down here, it's like showing divergence while this is going up. So I'm just gonna be keeping an eye on that. Do have a major support area down here. Go to the daily. Okay. Go on to the 4 hours. So we can see that overall it's in a downtrend with Euro EUD. So we have like this low, this high, hit off the 61.50. It's dropping down. This one, Euro AUD, is pretty much the only one kind of showing these signs that it's going to continue to drop down compared to all the other ones. So I would say for this one, like most likely it's going to drop down to at least this 582.283 area. Lower low, lower high, drop below pivot point 2. So yeah, I would say Euro AUD is most likely going to be dropping down. And it's below the 500, so below what's at the 500 right now. But if it continues to drop down, I would say like catching it around this 283 area. You can see even with the Fibonacci that I did, like this 23.6 aligns with this Fib. This 38.2 aligns with this pivot point. this 50% aligns with this R1. 61.8 doesn't align with anything. 78.6 with R1. So I like seeing it when it pretty much aligns with a lot of them. So UAUD, most likely this one's going to be a sell order. Let's say at least that 23.6. So that's like over 200 micropips, which is the game plan. So you can quote me on that later on once it does do its move. Those that got into Euro USD, it's already up like 20 micropips, so it's moving. So something that I do, and this is why I have 6 screens, so I can watch all of these pairs at the same time. So like right now, I'm sharing just one screen. So this is all that I have to play with, but I literally just put one onto one screen, one onto the other, and it's literally like just all over my screen where I can just look at the trades while they're doing its move, look at the breakouts. Those that know about like correlation pairs for my trading, I'll look at correlation pairs from like EURUSD, GBP, USD, and like kind of find pairs that move together or that are opposite from each other. So while I'm getting in on this trade, I'll be getting in on another trade with a different type of different type of thing. So like that's something that I go over, and let me pull it up here. So this is one of the files that is one of my trainings. So like EURUSD. So this one is one that I'm looking at right now, which is going up, most likely. Pretty much guaranteed if I go to GBP USD, it's going to be showing that it's going down. So GBP USD. Let me go out to 4 hours. So erase all this. So it's pretty much like at a major resistance over here. There's like the major resistance, which like hit over here, hit like support over here, hitting like resistance there. Going out to the 1 hour. Just in pretty much this area right here. It's like an area where it's not crossing. So this is showing that it's going up, and most likely it's going to be going down because you can see like just this low, this high. It's around that 38.2. So usually at 38.2 is when it'll have like its strong reaction. You can see that 0% is like at the S1 area, 50% is at this pivot point, negative 27% around S2. So most likely with this one, we can also, if you see right here, this area right here is the 1.132000. So it's the major area, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be hitting. Pretty sure it's going to be hitting already the reds under the blues, so it's already kind of giving us that indication it's going to be going down. Created lower low, so right now it's like in the process of that lower high. So we're going to be looking at that and then dropping down. Someone asked for TP for EURUSD, so TP is at 1.12690. Which, by the way, something that I would recommend is like learning how to do 10 key. It helps you out with trading. So this is kind of crazy. Back then, so those that know my story, like about 3 years ago, actually it's almost 4 years. It's almost 4 years ago that I quit my job, and because I'm so used to the 3 year story, but it started getting into like 3 years and a half, and now it's like almost 4 years. But basically back then I did have a job that I worked as, it was like counting inventory. So I would go into like stores and I would count like each item individually. And what I did and what they had me test out for is like my 10 key. So I would scan items, and then items that wouldn't scan, I would like look at the barcode and I would type it in on there. So if you guys can see, like right now, if I just say numbers like 4698, 764, 1237, like I can, I'm pretty quick with like 10 keys. So that's something that I would recommend, because that skill actually helped me out with trading. Because when you're doing your trades and putting your take profits and stuff, like let's say that take profit that I mentioned is like 1.12690. So like that happened within like less than 2 seconds. Less than 2 seconds that I can call out a thing. So like 1.31502. But yeah, so 10 key is definitely something I would recommend as like a skill set, especially since you're planning on getting into trading, doing this long term. For those that are new, it's definitely a skill set. Might even have a training on how to do 10 key, like how I learned how to do 10 key and then how to apply it. Because I also have a calculator next to me that I keep track of, like like how many micro pips. So like these help me out a lot. Like if I get in for a sell right here and then take profit right here, it already gives me like 448. So then I can pull up calculator. Well, I don't use this one, but like if I do 448 times 448 times like 10 lot size. So if I just do 10, I make 4,480. So I'll have like a notebook next to me that I put like profit. I'm going to be making 4,480, but then loss, if I do 377, this is where it's like 377 times, it's a 10 lot, so 3,770. Then I just keep in mind how much I lose, how much I win. Usually I add up my wins. Like the day that I made 100,000 in one day, it was like 100 and something thousand in one day. I added up everything that I was trading on, and it added up to about 115,000 for that day. But I ended up like taking profit on some of them a little bit early because I didn't want to be greedy. So I just took profit on them because my target was 100,000, and that's what I would recommend. Like if your target is $1,000, do the math. Literally, you can do the math. Like 448. How much money do you need in your bank account? The videos that I have inside of like the signal training, it talks about what lot sizes you should be using based off of your account size. So you start doing the math. That's like for me personally, math is pretty fun. Like I like counting numbers. I like counting money that I'm making. So like do the math. Try figuring it out. How many lot size do you need to make $1,000 off of this? Which I can already tell it's like maybe 1.25. Maybe 1.25 on that one. Which, by the way, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Not 1.25, 2.25. There we go. So to place at 2.25, those that take my training know that you need 2,500 in your trading account to start making $1,000 a day, times 5 days a week, 5,000 in a week, times 4 weeks in a month. Is that right? Not sure. But anyways, I know with 2,500, you guys can start making 6 figures. I already have some people in my team that are making 6 figures. So that's definitely like, I'm trying to get more people coming out, letting me know that they hit 6 figures. Because like this is, you guys know my goal is like to hit 100. If I can hit 100, like that's going to be the biggest thing that like I would be so satisfied with my life. Like I might as well just die. Might as well just die because that's like one of my biggest goals. But yeah, so Eric said, laugh often. I try not to. But anyways, I'm going to be getting off. The London session is about to get started. But thank you guys for joining in. And I'm about to stop the recording. You guys can ask me questions. And if there's anyone that's watching like this recording, you guys can like click the link in the bottom. It's going to be where you guys can be able to join in. But this is where, like, when we get on these live sessions, I'm going to be answering questions at the end of the training. So I can help you guys out, kind of give you guys a little bit of training, a little bit of knowledge, more knowledge at the end. So I'm going to stop the recording now.